When did giving someone a spare key ruin your entire life? My husband told me I was being controlling about his mother's visits and that I needed to stop hovering whenever she came over to help. She raised me just fine without your constant supervision, he said, after I suggested his mother shouldn't have a spare key anymore. You're treating her like she's some kind of criminal when all she wants is to help us out while we're at work. His mother stood behind him, nodding enthusiastically, while clutching her purse full of paint samples and fabric swatches. I just want to make your house feel more like a home, she said sweetly. My husband handed her back the spare key I'd taken away and announced she could come over whenever she wanted to help with household projects. Stop gatekeeping my mother from her own grandchildren's home, he told me. I packed up my home office and started working from my sister's house, but what my husband didn't realize was that I wasn't being controlling without reason. For 3 years, I had been secretly intercepting his mother's improvements before they could happen by redirecting her to harmless tasks like organizing the pantry whenever she visited. The first day I wasn't there, she decided our living room needed better natural light and took a sledgehammer to what she thought was just drywall, but was actually a load-bearing wall. The house started creaking like a ship in a storm while she stood in the rubble saying, "Now isn't that so much more open and airy?" When the contractor arrived for the emergency repair, she told him to keep going and knocked out 2 more walls while my husband was in a meeting. And by the time he noticed, our entire first floor was one giant room with the toilet visible from the front door. My husband called me panicking because his boss was coming for dinner and his mother had installed a glass ceiling in the dining room so everyone could watch people using the bathroom upstairs. It promotes family transparency and trust, she explained, while my husband's boss watched our daughter on the toilet. Week 2 brought her boyfriend Dale, who she insisted was a master craftsman, despite his ankle monitor and face tattoo that said "no regrets," but spelled wrong. Dale installed skylights in every room, including somehow the basement, because my mother-in-law believed in celestial energy flow. But instead of using actual skylights, he just cut holes in the roof and covered them with saran wrap, which meant when it rained, water poured directly onto our beds, electronics, and breakfast table. She decided hardwood floors were outdated and had Dale rip them all out to install carpet in the bathrooms because soft surfaces are more nurturing for children's development. And the carpet grew mushrooms within days that she claimed were a sign of good feng shui. Fungus shui even, Dale added helpfully. Dale built a deck that wasn't attached to the house, but just leaned against it and installed a hot tub in our bedroom closet that immediately leaked through the floor into the kitchen. And when my husband confronted him, Dale said, "That's not a leak, that's a water feature cascade system," while the ceiling collapsed. She painted everything, including the windows, with glow-in-the-dark paint because she read online that it prevented negative energy, but it was so bright at night that the police kept showing up thinking we were running a grow operation. Our neighbor called the cops after she saw Dale teaching our kids how to pick locks at midnight in our glowing green backyard. And when the police arrived, my mother-in-law told them Dale was a security consultant demonstrating home safety. She replaced all our doorknobs with those puzzle locks from escape rooms because she thought it would keep the children's minds sharp, but nobody could figure out how to get into the bathroom, and my husband had to pee in the backyard for 3 days. She converted our garage into what she called a butterfly sanctuary, but forgot to seal the door to the house, and we woke up covered in caterpillars that Dale insisted were emotional support insects while selling them to neighbors for $20 each. The goldfish she bought for a living room water feature turned out to be piranha, and Dale's attempt to build a containment wall just created a moat through our hallway. When animal control arrived, Dale was in the moat with a net, claiming he was a marine biologist, and these were therapeutic attack fish for his PTSD. Then she decided to dig a basement under our basement for her meditation room. Dale hit the main water line for the entire street, creating a geyser that launched our patio furniture into the neighbor's pool while flooding 7 houses. The city arrived to find Dale trying to install a stripper pole in the nursery for advanced motor skill development, while my mother-in-law explained to the police that the tunnel to the bank across the street was just for better ventilation. The house was condemned within the hour, and we were being sued by every neighbor on the block, while the FBI investigated Dale's tunnel system. My husband called me at my sister's house sobbing from his motel room. "We're homeless and under federal investigation because of my mother's boyfriend," she cheerfully announced. She had already picked out a perfect new house for us right next door to hers. "You're never allowed to be right about anything ever again," he told me. "She still has our spare key."